I don't think so either.
Oh, is that what it is?
Cat sees a bun in the oven.
Huh?
That's a
Yeah,
funny joke.
see, Carrie caught it. I thought,
I thought it was funny.
I'll never back down. I'll never back down. I'll never back down. I get up when I'm bleeding, barely breathing. I'll never back down.
This is the collision of common sense and comedy. This is Defenders Live.
I'll never back down. Thought I was 6 feet under. But now it's your turn.
Happy Tuesday.
I know it is. You want to know why?
What, happy or Tuesday?
Both.
Oh.
Because this.
Are you ready for a miracle? Jesus, are you ready for a miracle? Hey, are you ready? Are you ready?
Yeah, that's exactly why.
You were itching to push that
Joyous
button.
song.
I know,
love
right?
it.
Well,
Yeah.
That's why.
You remember what that's from, right?
Yeah. The Steve Martin.
Huh?
I'll wait. We'll wait.
Your mom?
You got it. You're almost.
Simone.
Leap of Faith.
There you go.
There it is.
There you go.
Yeah, took me a second.
Such a good movie. Such a good movie. Oh, I got the girlfriend to finally watch Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Oh!
What'd you think?
She loved it.
Oh.
Thought it was great.
Speaking of, I already have one story for tomorrow for Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Perfect.
Oh, it's so good.
That's fantastic.
You have a story for.
Robin
Well,
Hood. No, I have a
Robin Hood.
story where I'm going to reference Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Because
Oh, perfect.
odds are it's Abe Lincoln.
You guys know each other too well.
That's it's too funny.
It's such a good guy.
It worked in Blazing Saddles.
I know. He's right.
Help me, I can't swim. Okay. So how was your fourth?
Little John.
I know, right?
My fourth was good.
Do you still
Actually,
have all your
I-
appendages? Does the husband have still all those appendages?
All
Everybody?
fingers and toes.
Nobody's blown anything off. No.
All
Nope.
accounted for.
The dogs are still
All-
there. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yep.
Good.
Our one dog is scared of noises, and so he was.
Happy the whole time.
Terrified.
Just having a ball.
Great times running around the house, no problem, peeing everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah. He was scared. So, but other than that, no,
Scared to poop out of him.
everyone. It was beautiful weather.
Let's see what you did there.
There you
So yeah, really good. And it was a Sunday, so I preached that day.
go. Ooh.
And actually, I would love to, because the sermon. Well, we can talk about the sermon in a minute here, but
Okay.
All right.
yeah, no, we're going to, because it was about freedom.
Yes.
And it was just a really fun. I really enjoyed it, but then I went away going, I hope no one thought I was anti-American.
Why would they think that, Carrie?
Well, we're going to talk about that.
Okay.
But you guys are like,
Because
tell me
it's
about your fourth.
Well, we had some peoples.
We had barbecue.
We had some barbecues.
Yeah, we had pulled pork. Some red
Red slaw.
slaw. I've never seen it before. I didn't know what this was.
Oh, with
I-
like red cabbage?
no,
Oh.
no,
It's like regular slaw, but red.
in like red. Like okay, so you know
with red.
Okay, so you know this is good sounds. You know slaw, cabbage, and whatever.
Yeah, right.
And
Sure.
basically sugar water, basically.
Yeah, in
For
essence.
lack of a
In
better
essence.
way. Okay. Now imagine said sugar water not being like that milky white color, but red. Look like almost like Kool-Aid.
Like a
Not quite dark, but
well,
like
kind of almost like a Play-Doh-esque
Yeah.
color, like the red Play-Doh
or
color.
like a sherbet kind of
Was
a.
there beets in it?
No.
Not that I'm aware
No.
of. I don't know what this.
I couldn't really figure it out, but I will tell you that red cabbage tastes red. Stevie Wonder
you
could
mean
tell.
red slaw? That
Red
wasn't
slaw.
cabbage.
Red slaw could tell. Could be categorized directly by Stevie Wonder as red.
No.
This is the taste
Okay.
of red.
I'm looking at this, and that's very interesting. Sometimes it's called barbecue slaw.
Yes, sometimes it is.
Okay.
I'd never seen it before. I'd
Never
never
heard
heard of
about it.
And I'm not gonna lie, I didn't try it because
I did.
I know what it is.
you did what makes it red?
Uh-huh.
What is
Ketchup.
Ketchup.
It's
it?
ketchup.
Oh, thank God I didn't try it.
It's ketchup.
Are you a non-ketchup eater?
No, I like ketchup, but there's just certain things, and I'll be weird, like I'll put, but I can't. The
but
idea
it's
of
sweet.
the idea of putting
It's
ketchup
sweet
in my
ketchup.
slaw is like,
It's really sweet ketchup. Like it was.
it looked like a dessert.
Yeah,
I
it did.
thought it was a
like
dessert.
Did you put it
I thought it
on
was.
your pulled pork?
Well, I did. Yes. The one thing that everyone failed at was bringing buns.
Buns. We had no buns.
No
at all.
buns.
That is hilarious.
Yeah.
So I didn't think about it, and the guys that brought the food
Didn't think
they
about
didn't
it.
think about it either.
And that's the only way I put coleslaw on my pulled
Sure.
pork
Is on the
if,
bun.
If on the bun. If it's by itself, I'm just gonna eat it with a fork and I'll be done with it.
So instead, I had wavy. I had the Lay's wavy chips.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
and
that's
I
all
piled
good.
it on top of the wavy chip, and then I piled some of the red slaw on the wavy
Yes,
chip.
it's like barbecue nachos.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that works.
That's amazing.
That works.
We had Tasting Jamaican out there as well.
Yes.
They brought salsas and samples of salsas
And jerk seasoning,
and jerk seasoning, and we were sampling
or
jerks.
as some jackals like to call it, my seasoning.
Yeah, it was Steven seasoning. But we were dumping it like into cups of like different, like there was a cheese puff.
So there's it's a puff.
Yeah,
it's
but
like it's
But it's not like a normal cheese
it's
puff.
technically like it's almost popcorn, but not quite.
Oh, yeah.
It's like it's the cornmeal stuff that's
Yep.
been popped and then sprinkled with powdered
different,
cheese.
different, and all we did was basically it became a taste testing of like, well, I wonder what this would taste like on this, and dump some into a cup and
Shake it
back and
around and
forth
try it out.
pass
Here,
around.
try this.
It was great.
It was good.
Blew
That's awesome.
Blew up a bunch of fireworks. We didn't film a daggone thing.
No, we
I-
did
You
no
all have
pictures.
your
We took-
appendages and digits.
Yes,
We got digits, but we took absolutely no pictures, no video,
No
We
nothing.
did no
We're-
live streaming
we know why nobody shows up because
because we didn't do any of that mess.
because they're like, why?
Why? Why? I can't get any publicity.
You didn't make it an event.
Okay, so is this like the first annual?
I don't know.
I don't know about an annual.
I
Part
can
of-
say that we will do it again.
We will do something again for sure. The only reason why we did it for this and for the 4th of July was because there was a few months back that Biden
Yeah.
had made that thing about, well, I don't know, y'all are not going to be able to get together. And I was like,
You're gonna have to wear
"Oh,
your masks.
Watch me, old man. And
Right.
on the air, I kind
Da-da-da.
of said this is going to happen. And
Then we made it happen.
we pulled it together and made it happen.
very last
That's
minute.
awesome.
I don't know if it'll be a 4th of July thing again, but
It will be something else.
I'm disappointed to find out. I don't know why. Wow, I just found out today. CPAC is in Texas this week.
Dallas. Yes.
I am beyond PO'd right now
Why?
because I wanted to go. Think about it. Texas and CPAC.
Yeah.
Dude.
Uh-huh.
Dude.
Yeah.
It's this weekend.
Okay.
Yeah, I know.
I know.
I wish I'd have known.
What?
I just found
It's
out.
this
too.
coming weekend?
Yes.
Yeah.
You want to go?
We got to apply. Do you realize I had to like file in for, I don't even know if we got time to get passes. We'd have to put,
I know we can't get passes, but we know a guy.
We can.
We know a guy.
No, but I was saying we can get past it. Like if we have to fill it out and junk like that, I can
Yeah.
still see. I mean, I'm down for going.
Maybe.
I have to find somebody to watch the kids.
This may be too spur of the moment.
Yeah.
This
It's very spur of the moment.
This might
I mean,
be
it's
too spur of the
Tuesday.
moment. Yeah, that might be too spur of the moment. We might not be able to do that. But
I mean, we could. But
it is Tuesday.
Somebody may die.
Yeah, in the process. Probably my wife.
Well, I was thinking more like you.
Oh, no.
Both of you.
Yeah,
It'll be
both
like
of
a
us.
Romeo and Juliet thing, except for it's not.
Except for she's going to stab me. And
and then she's going to go, oh, I can't take it.
yeah,
And
instead of
it'll-
me stabbing myself, she's going to stab me.
Yes.
Right.
There's no poison involved.
Right, not at all.
Maybe a smothering.
Yeah.
There you go.
Smothering.
There you go. And not by affection.
Right.
So anyway.
Those are not the right pillow. Anyway.
Oblivion Flickering over on Twitter. What if they threw a barbecue and nobody brought buns?
Wow.
My wife was listening to that entire conversation. She peeked out the door and nodded her head.
That you'd be dead.
That's hilarious.
That you'd be dead.
Yep.
That's so funny.
I mean, it wouldn't be so bad if you know.
It needs to be planned.
No, and I know,
That's
and
the
I
point.
did, but I did not know that I thought they had canceled it, and we're gonna just try again next year.
They
I didn't-
did cancel it, and then they moved it.
Well, the only reason they moved it, as reading find out, Mike Lindell was like, "I want this to happen," and so
So we know a guy.
it happened.
So yeah, we know a guy.
I know we
Wow.
know a guy.
We know a couple guys now.
We know a lot of guys.
That's right. Anyway, so
a couple girls.
you were at the pulpit and you had a very nice sayings and you did the things and we
Yeah.
want to hear about it.
Okay, so for our summer sermon series, we're doing a Q&A. We've done this before and we're doing it again where we have questions, whether they're questions that come to us from specific people or just in general conversation or that are just kind of out there in question land. A lot of us refer to that as Google. So question land.
Question
So-
land.
So my question and then we're posing the question and then, having scripture answer it. So,
Yeah.
Okay.
so my
Following.
question was, if I believe in Jesus, do I still have to follow the law? And
All right. Continue.
No, keep going.
Go ahead.
I'll tell you
oh
about it.
no, what was that look?
No,
No, no. Go ahead.
We'll tell you in a minute. You do what you do.
You
and
do
then
you.
We'll sprinkle this in. I promise. It'll.
He'll jump.
God, talk about coincidence.
I know.
God bless
Come on, go
America.
ahead.
Keep going.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Sorry.
So I'm going to get the verses really quick here. So the verses I based it around or based the answer around because freedom comes up a lot in scripture. A lot.
A lot.
And,
A lot.
and so I turned to verses 13 and 14 of Galatians chapter 5, which are, for you were called to freedom, brothers. Only do not use your freedom as an opportunity for the flesh, but through love serve one another. For the whole law is fulfilled in one word. You shall love your neighbor as yourself.
Okay.
Okay, so there is something going on here.
I'll
with
tell.
you
I
two.
promise you. I will tell you about it in a little bit.
I know,
Just.
I know. Okay.
We'll add eventually.
Oh, God bless America.
Awesome.
Go ahead.
So,
Because now I've got a question to throw out there for your Q&A. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
okay, cool. It was really fun studying for this sermon because the deeper I went, it was just, it's seriously, when you talk about it being like an onion, it was just
Yeah.
like pulling back
Layers
layer
and
after layer after
layers.
layer. And I thought, how am I going to get even just a smidgen of this into a sermon? So, and have
Organization.
it make sense. So,
Organization.
so the whole first premise, if I believe in Jesus, well, here, so we're going to just knock out that if, because Paul in this is already writing to people who believe in Jesus, who
Right.
believe in salvation in Christ, right?
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
So he's writing to the believers in Galatian. He's saying, don't let people come in and hold you to this law. You're just yoking yourself to a bondage of law
Bondage.
again, right? So
A bondage.
So, what?
A bondage.
You're
putting just
bondage,
putting yourself in
period. It
bondage.
is-
Yes.
Doesn't even
Yeah.
matter where you're at. You're going from being a free man back to
Bondage.
bondage.
Yeah.
So, and he calls them brothers, which that, you can just go right back to chapter 4, where he's saying you're heirs. You are no longer slaves to sin. You are heirs, and you call out Abba, Father, and so you are children of God. You are heirs of God. Children of God, heirs of the promise. So that's taken care of right there. So if I believe in Jesus, okay. So we're just starting on the premise. We believe in Jesus.
Yes.
So you're called to freedom. Do not use your freedom as an opportunity for the flesh. And I love this. So Moses has 600 plus laws, right? God gave the Israelites through Moses 600 plus laws that in order to obtain righteousness, they had to follow these laws fully and
Meticulously,
completely. And
yes.
obviously no one can do that. But the law serves three purposes. So we have the mirror where it shows us our sin. You can see that in Romans 3:20 is the verse that I used for that, where, through the law comes knowledge of sin. And then it curbs, and this is 1 Timothy 1:8-10 is what I used. It curbs sin. And this is for the believer and the unbeliever, right? I mean, we have civil laws, and that would fall under this, that the law curbs the outbreak of sin, and people don't do wrong out of the fear of punishment. So that's for both believer and unbeliever. And then it's a guide. And I used Psalm 119 verses 32-34, I think it was. Anyway, where it talks about where David is saying, teach me your ways, I followed your command, and it's use your law to guide me, right? So it is outside of the divine influence, we aren't guided in the law. But as a new believer, as that new life springs forth, the law guides us. So what I love here is that Paul uses the word flesh. Don't use freedom as an opportunity for flesh. And he's not saying don't use this freedom that you have to sin. He doesn't use the word sin because in this context, sin brings it back to a wrongdoing.
Right.
That you have done wrong, you have broken the law. That is sin. Flesh, here, it means the sensuous nature of man. So it's how one feels. And it takes it that step further. It digs even deeper into, you don't follow the desires of your whims and your wants. You don't use your freedom in Christ as a reason to do whatever the heck fire you want. So then he takes it another step further and he says, through love, serve one another, for the whole law is fulfilled in one word: you shall love your neighbor as yourself.
Right.
And so it's very counterintuitive. I mean, and think about this as Americans, we value freedom. I mean, that is one of the things that we value above all else in this country. That's why immigrants for, decades have flocked here in order to live in the freedom that we experience and that men and women have died to protect. And it's wonderful, but someone like a woman who lives in Iran or Afghanistan who is forced to wear a burqa has no earthly freedom. If she is converted to Christianity, she's free. She's free in Christ. So freedom here is not, if we think of it in just the terms of, autonomy and self-governance and there were a couple of other terms, but God did not give us freedom to be gods, like little gods unto ourselves.
Right.
And so God, we look at what Jesus, who had, he had ultimate freedom. He was almighty and sovereign, and he could do anything that he chose. And what he chose to do with his freedom is to, before the foundation of the earth, to have a plan of salvation in which he comes to earth in flesh and humbles himself in order to serve, ultimately serving to take the wrath that for our desires of the flesh, for our sin, take that upon himself and give us his righteousness and freedom in the eternal. And so that law no longer holds us bound eternally, but we are free. And it's very counterintuitive to think that in my freedom, I'm going to use that freedom to go ahead and submit myself to serving others, right? And it's not and I think that it's very counterintuitive, especially for the American mindset. And this is not quite exactly how I put it, but the American mindset of, you can do anything you want, and you make yourself, rich, prosperous, whatever it is, you do for you.
Right.
And this is saying, in your freedom, you do for others. And so it was just a really fun, I really enjoyed doing this study. And I really enjoyed it. It was really fun.
No, that's awesome.
There you go.
Nice. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh, you want me to?
No, yeah, you had
Do you want me to
questions.
throw that-
No, you had.
I was gonna actually roll it out to on the other side during the break, but
We
we can do it now.
You can start with the questions, and then we'll roll over to your story.
My question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My question.
Uh-huh.
So, in actually touching on what you're referring to, being free, when you are explaining the gospel, okay, and in relating to that fact of being a free person, and that how it's the only reason why you're there in the first place is because of what God has done. Is nothing you do. It's not works. It's grace and everything and all that jazz. What can you I know it's kind of putting you on the spot, but can you pick a verse that you would use to emphasize that, or kind of put
As directly as possible.
Yeah, I know it's kind of putting you on the spot, but do you have one kind of off the dome that you can point at to kind of just back that up and say, hey, by the way, because it says here that, you don't, everything we're given is by grace, and it's nothing that you do. And the only reason you get that grace is because God has given it to you in the first place, and blah, blah, blah. And
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Ephesians 2 verses 8 and 9. For by grace, and I wanted to get it word for word.
Right.
For by grace you have been saved through faith. And this is not your own doing. It is the gift of God, not a result of works, so that no one may boast.
See, that's funny.
that's what I was thinking
That's-
kind of along
I
the
was
same
on that same
lines.
realm, that idea, we got to stick with Ephesians and, stay in that realm
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
idea.
No, so the reason I'm asking this is you want to wait until we come
We're
back?
going to wait on that
I
one.
have a reason.
He has a reason.
And is this what the giggling was?
Yes.
Okay.
And it was just funny that you're like, oh, you were already doing it too. And I'm like, oh. Or at least in that vein. I was
Yeah,
like, wow.
you were already in that vein. Everything was good. Everything
This
was
works out very well.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about that because we're only like a minute away.
So we'll talk about that on the break.
So we'll talk about that
during
after
the break
the
and on the other
break.
side.
Yeah, we'll get through that. But real quick, Beef in the SAV.
There's another one. Yeah, Romans 6, 1 and 2. That's another good one.
That's also very good. Yeah. Beef in the SAV. Love how Doc's rules still apply. Just because you can doesn't mean you should.
That's true.
Hashtag freedom.
It's almost, I smell a trend.
Right. But yeah, he was using Romans 6, 1 and 2. What shall we say then? Are we to continue in sin that grace may abound? By no means.
That by no means
Yeah. That means
is
no.
metanoia, and that means like hell no.
Yeah, that means absolutely not, you moron.
Hell no. To the no.
Yeah. How can we who died to sin still live in it? Yeah, it's that idea that you can't. You're dead to sin by following in grace.
I think that
Through faith.
this also, so I was just having a conversation with a coworker about this, about Romans 7. And you can't take Romans 7 alone as an excuse.
Right.
You have to keep those bookends of Romans 6 and 8.
Yeah.
You have to keep everything in context.
Right. You can't take things out of context and expect people to understand what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
And that also includes the word.
Yeah. Yeah. Even if it ends up
Meaning what you want it to mean.
meaning what you want and your point still being right,
But your reference point is wrong.
wrong.
Completely wrong.
Context matters.
I am really interested.
Really does.
Oh, you're going to love this.
It's going to be good.
It's be good. We'll be back
All right.
in a minute.
We can't tell you. We have to
I
wait
know.
2 minutes.
I'm not. I
Gotta
know.
wait
I
2
don't.
minutes.
I will learn.
Oh, it's fascinating. It's been bugging me. It still is bugging me, and I don't know how to handle it.
Debug.
Okay, hold on. What is it?
Well, not even just debug. Like I don't know how to approach this, which I might take your answer for that question off the air once I explain everything.
Okay.
Because once I explain it, you'll understand kind of what my question is and what I mean by
Okay.
how I need to handle it. Because it's,
Okay.
yeah. ¿Qué es esta? Oh, nobody important?
No, well, not saying nobody important.
Well, but I mean,
It's no. Somebody's responding to something that we said in a couple days ago, like last week.
about what?
The Florida condo thing.
Falling apart?
Yeah,
And-
and how it was,
Black Rock and all that jazz?
no, how it was partially the problem of the people that lived there.
Yes.
Yes. She was saying that more than likely it wasn't actually the people that lived there, but the board of directors over top of it. So
No.
individual
Tomato,
people,
tomato.
Yeah.
Oh, Alan West is running for governor of Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna pull the story, but I was like,
I saw that. Like, it's posted all over
it's
Facebook.
everywhere.
The fact that I follow
Alan
him.
West, Greg Abbott, Chad Prather, and Matthew McConaughey. It looks like.
I thought he was Tennessee.
No, but
No,
still,
he's Texan.
He's Texan. He's been.
I thought he was going to Tennessee though. Like, I thought
no,
that's what he-
but that's
no.
just funny because
That's
you have.
Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah, well,
Yeah. Oh, that was a good impersonation. Very nice.
Thank you. Happens sometimes. We're coming back.
This is Defenders Live.
before the show's over with, we're gonna have to talk about that.
About what?
About the Texas gubernatorial race.
Sure, why not?
Because I'm just it makes me giggle, and I'm not saying like nothing in depth, just a kind of.
See, America's just going through puberty.
I don't know if it's just puberty.
I don't know either, but that's what Matthew McConaughey says, so it must be true, right?
The Nights You Say Knee over on Twitter. This is fortuitous. I was thinking of doing something, but it required either of you guys to talk about taking things in context. This is perfect.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Smart Alec.
So anyway, all that lead up, everything that we've done so far, including listening to Carrie and her wonderful pastoral.
Yeah, the mini version of her sermon.
Yep.
The footnotes thereof. And so
And the question that led.
and it posed the kind of the question of the whole keeping it in context and what would you use.
Oh, yeah.
So Sunday,
Sunday.
this past Sunday,
Sunday.
4th of July,
Sunday.
I was in church, and this is not a bad church. It really isn't. And pastor's fairly good. Okay, so he was giving. We're walking through 2 Peter.
Yep.
And it was the 2 Peter 5 through or 6 through 9 or whatever it was. And it's basically the whole stretch of, you like I've mentioned before, the only reason why you have a desire for good, and the only reason why you have a desire for good is because if you're saved, God put it there. Okay? And it went through that. So and again, that's a nutshell of the way he was putting it.
Right.
And it was all a decent sermon and blah, 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 until he said that and then referenced Philippians 2:12. And I kind of twitched for just not 2:12. I'm sorry, not 2:12.
Not 2:12. Which
I think
one
it's
is it?
4:12.
Is it
Is it
4:12?
4:12? No,
So
he-
2:12 is therefore, my beloved, as you have always obeyed, so now, not only as in my presence, but much more in my absence, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling.
Yes. Okay, it was 2:12.
It was 2:12,
It was
yeah.
2:12. He got the ending part. He referenced that
First he
verse
only
saying
used
that,
portion.
and he used just that portion, saying
Instead
that
of, for it is God who works in you both to will and to work for his good pleasure.
yeah. Well, here's what's the best part about it. He used the last half of 12 and 13. And even the part where it says talking about both, I'm like, hold on, the context even of that verse that you just quoted is implying of something completely different, which is the fact of if once you're saved, which is what the whole part of this letter was about, is just because, someone else who is saved, say, doesn't drink, but you do. You know what I mean? You don't force them to drink or vice versa.
Right. Now that would be better to go to like Corinthians.
Yeah, but that's my point. But still, I knew Philippians was not right. Not when you're using the fact that the only reason why you have any good in you is because God put it there.
Right.
And it was just this. My eye is twitched.
So the point he was making using that is what?
So he was going to similar points that you were going to, or he was trying to make in reference
Yes.
of.
That you have to, now that you're no longer in sin, you have to go about doing everything. But the only reason why you can do anything is because God does it for you. And where he ended up going to, and what hit like a wall, is that he went to Philippians 2:12, saying how, you work out your own salvation. He's like that. What that is implying is that, once God gives you that desire to no longer do the things of the flesh, you should work it out as hard as you can, as best as you can.
So literally, all he said was, "Work out your own salvation with fear and trembling, for it is God who will work with you." But to will,
Oh, no.
both to will and to work with for his good pleasure.
Yeah, I'm getting ready. Hold on.
his good
Yeah,
grace,
keep
yeah.
going.
So he's
it.
making it into a works righteousness at that point.
Well, I think he did, but he
intentionally,
wasn't
perhaps.
trying to, because he literally just countered it, saying that there's no way.
He did it not on purpose.
Yeah, it was not on
It
purpose.
was not on purpose.
but he did it, and
But it was bad enough to where Dylan caught it and was still thinking about it hours later.
it drove me insane.
Days later.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, even days later, I'm still kind of like, wait a second, hold on, hold the phone, because where was he at? Because the whole point of what he was trying to do is I think, okay, so we started from 5. Okay, so started in 2 Peter 1:5. Like, for this reason, you make every effort. You make every effort to supplement your faith through virtue through knowledge through self-control through steadfastness through godliness, and godliness through brotherly affection through love, or with love. And for all these qualities as yours and are increasing, they keep you from being infected and unfruitful in the knowledge of the Lord Jesus Christ. For whoever lacks these qualities is so nearsighted that he is blind, having forgotten that he was cleansed of his former sins. And it was at that point that he rolled into the whole, and again, his point was right. That, you can't do anything. There is, because he followed up, he's like, no matter what anybody tells you, there isn't a single human being that has a bit of goodness in them. You hear everybody say, oh, well, if you just dig deep enough. Society says if you dig deep enough, you'll find that little thing, that little spot of good in everybody. No. He's made it very clear that's not how it is, that the only good that comes from anyone is only through what Jesus gives you and what God gives you through the Holy Spirit. That's it.
Right.
And then it went like that. So I'm like, all right, we're rolling, Pastor. We're doing good. And then Philippians 2:12. And I'm sitting here going the whole time, I'm like, what? Because that's where he went back to the working out your own salvation. That's what he didn't mean the salvation part necessarily. He was referring to the fact of, okay, because his example was working out your own salvation was from the fact of, as it said earlier, that you do all these things. Let's see, let me pull it back up. I blocked it. Not blocked it, I got rid of it. Having forgotten that he was cleansed of his former sins. He hit that point and was trying to basically say, don't forget that you've been forgiven. You have to work at this daily. It's a daily thing to supplement your faith and your virtue and your knowledge and your steadfastness and control and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And the only way to do that is by being in the word and by doing, prayer and everything else. And so again, it all was right.
Right.
Except for that one reference verse. And it's still
And it
bothering
wasn't even necessarily like a bad verse, but the way that it was used was not supporting what he was saying.
Right. And that's the point. It's like technically
Right.
he made the right point.
Right.
It's just he used the wrong verse to do it. Like he didn't take he just decidedly didn't take enough time to look into where he could pull other verses from to use as better reference. And that got on Dylan's goat.
Yeah.
It's an interesting, that would not be my first.
That's
go-to.
again,
That wouldn't be his third.
that's not even my third.
Right.
And Dylan's a layman, so
Because even to the point, like I said, because he went from 12 into 13, where it references the word both, referring to the whole point of the thing is you don't be a stumbling block for your brother if he thinks he shouldn't eat, unholy meat and you think it's okay. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's what that whole context was. And it doesn't fit. It doesn't fit.
It's a little disjointed.
Just a tad. And so now you know what I meant in the break by I need your help on how to approach this because it's messing with me.
And
Do I say something? Do I not say something?
I don't think you do. Is this the first time you've ever been to the church?
No, we've been going for a little over a month and a half.
Okay.
2 months,
Is this
something
a
like that.
common thing where it's like weird?
No, this is the first time that this has been like this.
Then my personal thought would be
Let it ride and get over it.
grace. Just grace, because who knows, like he obviously picked that for a reason. Mm-hmm. And it just didn't come off right.
And that's what I was wondering. Like, it still bugs me. So, like, should I even bother approaching him and saying? Because I almost did on Sunday, but it just ran so long that, and I had to go get stuff done. I was going to approach him and be like, "Hey, you said this. You're on point, but then you threw in this reference. Help me understand what it is you're talking about and where you're trying to go from there."
Fair.
That's exactly. I wouldn't be like, "You're wrong.
You were wrong."
Yeah, no, dear God, no. I'm dumb, but I ain't that dumb. I was born at night, but it won't last night.
I think if you like shot him an email or, found him on Sunday or whatever and just said, "Hey, honestly, like to approach it with saying like, this has been kind of rattling around in my brain. And I mean, because any good sermon, it should be working on you all week, right? I mean, it should be rattling around in your brain. I love it. Anytime I hear a sermon where it like keeps popping up into my thoughts, I think, oh my gosh, that was just an awesome sermon.
I agree. However, I would think that it should be it should be rolling around your brain because it's a good point, not because you're going, huh? Like I literally had, for most of the rest of the service, I had the dog look. My head was tilted. My eyes were squinted. I'm like, and I'm trying to listen. And I'm like, okay. And I kept coming back going, but why?
So shooting him out an email just saying, "Hey, I really appreciated this and this in your sermon. I'm a little confused with this. This is, can you help me understand what, because it sounded like this, but the rest of your sermon sounded like this. So I help me understand this."
Yeah. And that's all I want to do. Like, because I'm not the brightest person. I am by no means a biblical scholar. I've not even crested the basics of the schooling and training that this man has got, I'm sure. So I know there's stuff that I don't know. My brain is just going, I just want it to make sense.
Yeah.
I just want it to make sense because it's like it's kind of like, I don't know, hearing Etta James, at last, but done to heavy metal, like, Norwegian death metal. You know what I mean? It doesn't jive. It's not
right.
And
I think that's, I mean, if he blows up or he you know, is super affected by you asking to understand, then
Oh, that's a whole nother conversation.
that's a whole
Yeah,
different
yeah, yeah.
issue.
Yeah, I'm not worried about that. Did I tell you about the last church we were at? The one who the lady that was preaching actually stood up in the middle of service and said that it has nothing to do with facts. It's only about feelings.
What?
Verbatim. That's what she said.
Oh, okay. So this is not the church you both went to.
No.
This is a church you were visiting.
Yes, I've recently. I was. Me and the girlfriend have been looking, and one of them we went to was a little bit further from the house. But I was like, oh, it's newer. Let's check it out. Blah blah blah.
Right.
And it was just in the middle of the service because she was referring to just how things go and what things are said and blah blah. And she's like, she sat there and said, quote, you know, it's not about facts. Sometimes it's about the feelings, and so you have to watch what you say. And I'm like, because then she turned around and sat there and used her example was if somebody's son or somebody's relative, whatever, had died drinking and driving, you're not going to sit and kind of be like, well, I told you so.
Right.
And she's right. No decent human being is going to do that. However, a decent human being would also be like, hold on, you're drunk. Don't drive. I'm trying to save your life.
Right.
And it just, the moment she said, even the girlfriend looked at me and my eyes started twitching. I couldn't sit still. I'm like, we got to go. We need to go.
So she's just talking about general.
Well,
Everyday-
oddly enough, she was also talking about who was it? I think it was Samson.
That the facts didn't matter, but how he felt.
I guess I don't know. It was Sam. It was. So that's how little I paid attention to when she said that because
Wow.
that was about a
He
third.
can't remember anymore
It was
because
a
he blacked out.
Third of the way of the service, and I did. My eye. I know I popped a blood vessel. It was a bad.
Wow.
It was.
It's bad
so
when you pop a blood vessel while you're in church,
Yeah.
Yes.
and it's not due to you being convicted.
Yeah. Yeah. You're supposed to be there because it's fun. No. No, it's not. It's sometimes it sucks.
That's just bizarre.
And so we got out of there quick. And
That's a one and done. Like what?
yeah. Oh, we were out quick, fast, and in a hurry.
See, the
And
problem
so-
is so you've had that, and I think that's that exact same church I went to years ago.
Oh, you told me about this.
Once
Yeah.
I went once years ago when I was still looking for. I was looking for.
This
for
is
like
before you went to the one that we.
I was trying to look for like a main church, and it was before the one that I went with him for quite a few years. We went there once, and when we did, we stayed for about 15 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were in the back row, just kind of hanging out, watching, looking at everything, wanting to figure out, wants to see, it looked like
Yep.
a nice place. It was pretty cool. Everything was nice. It was good. Then, all the tropes, the good music, the nice seats, the cushy place,
Yep.
all the things.
Yep. The church even does makes movies.
Yeah,
like
they
Christian
even do
movies.
like Christian movies.
I don't know how good they are after that sermon, but
still, they do the whole thing. Mm-hmm. And so it was very creature comfort.
yeah.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Which I'm okay with. I like creature comfort. Creature comfort's
Right.
nice if you can afford it. Cool. Okay.
Yep. Absolutely.
Anyway, but we got in about, we sat down, we did the whole thing, and they're doing the whole, worship service. And about 15 minutes in, preacher comes down. And it wasn't a female at that point.
Yeah. Well, this female was she normally did the online stuff.
Oh,
the
okay.
whole COVID
So
thing.
this was
but
the
she had
pastor.
just happened to be come in. And,
Okay.
yeah, the other pastor. Yeah.
This was the main pastor. Main pastor decided that he was going to come out and take the offering, which I'm fine with. That's fine. It's Baptist church. Take the offering. That's fine.
Allegedly.
Ish.
No.
Allegedly.
I don't even think it's considered a Baptist church.
Well,
It's a community.
Oh, community church. Whatever.
It is,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, I mean, they kind of espouse.
I know they lean more towards, especially with
similarly,
Southeastern being right down the
Southeastern,
road. I know.
You kind of have to. Anyway, so pass the plate, right? Pass the plate. Do the whole thing. Well, that's not what they did. No, that's not what they did.
And they did what?
They said, raise your offering to the sky. Lift your hands and make sure that all can see the offering that you present.
Oh my god!
I'd have held up a couple of nickels. Be like,
I held up a finger and I walked out. I was not staying.
deuces. Keep on walking.
Later.
Wow,
I said, nope.
You must be out of your
Nope.
mind.
that sounds so much like the parable that Jesus tells of the publican and the Pharisee, where the Pharisee says, "Oh Lord, I'm so glad I'm not like these people because I
Exactly.
do this and I give my tithe and I do this and this and this."
Yeah.
And
The,
it's all
He's like,
for
oh,
show.
nay, nay.
that's the thing I walked away with was, the teaching very simply. The man who gloats himself, the one who looks for glory, the one who gets the
Right.
doting of the audience and the attention and all the rest of it, where is his reward? Right there.
Yeah.
That's his reward. He already got it. So when you tithe in secret. When you tithe to the Lord alone. When you give in secret. You give in to the Lord alone. When you do all these things, you do them anonymously. You do them without people knowing. You never put your name forward because the reason why you do these things is one, God says to, and two, if you want to store up treasures in heaven, you don't take the treasures of the world.
Now I am not opposed to, like, our name is on our offering envelope, our
That's
tithing
fine.
envelope.
That's
and I don't
whatever.
mind at all. I have, as a pastor, I have no clue what people offer, tithe,
Right.
anything like that.
Sure.
Neither of us do, and it's because we don't want anyone to ever think that their pastoral care is based on a monetary value.
A monetary acceptance, and that's actually what.
That's what I like about the church I'm going to. I'm trying to get Goofball here to go.
I'm trying,
He's
all right?
he's just recently got into a point where he has Sundays off.
Yeah, I finally got Sunday.
He's worked like Sundays for so long. Now that
Not
he's got
used
them
to it.
off, he's like,
I want to chill for a bit. Can I
and
just
so-
can I just
I-
relax? for a few
I'm
days?
giving it to him now.
Right?
I'm gonna in the next 6 months. I'm gonna bust your balls.
I
and you're gonna
know,
go.
I know.
Anyway,
I know.
But it's not. It's really actually as I found out. This particular church I'm going to, the church him and I used to go to.
A whole bunch of people that used to go there
But it also started from there years and years and years and years
a
ago.
long time ago.
Long time
Because
ago.
the church you guys went to, you both really loved.
Yes.
Yes.
But it was it the pastor is no longer there?
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah. There,
And,
there was a
well,
lot of
there's a lot of
political
weird
infighting
political
and
things going
things
on,
like that. And
Yeah.
he rolled out and so once between him leaving and COVID, this church I went over, like I said, and that's when I found out that not only there's a lot of people who I used to know from the previous church who are going there now,
Good.
including remember the drummer, black
Yeah.
fella.
Yeah.
He's there. He's drumming too.
What?
Yeah, he's up on stage. So it's what I'm
an
saying.
amazing drummer.
Him and these kids. Anyway, sorry. But no, but it started from there like 20 years ago. Is where
Wow.
they kind of branched off from there and went and started the church that we went to, and a lot of those people have kind of migrated back. Some of them did once everything, because the church we went to became about money, and not necessarily meant to be in a bad way, but it was one of those. It went from it's not God who's doing this, it's not God who's helping and making all this stuff. If it wasn't for us, this wouldn't happen. And
Right.
that's kind of where they rolled into, and they got so stuck on themselves. And the pastor was, like I said, there was a lot of infighting, and the senior pastor actually was, he was in the middle of the stretch through Romans, and he was about 3 weeks away from being done.
Being complete, yeah.
No warning, no
No,
previous heads up,
Nope.
nothing. Like it was like 2 weeks out from being done. He's like, "Oh, by the way,
This is my last year.
We have
This is my last day."
Because he was doing that. He's like, "Yeah, we have this sermon and next sermon, and after next weekend, I'm going to be gone. Bye, guys." And it was like that, and there was no
Just deuces.
Like
no
he
way-
left, or
Yeah,
they
well,
invited him to leave?
well,
He said it was. He told obviously the congregations that it was. He was being led somewhere else. But there was no explanations of anything. There was no. It was like I said, 2 sermons away from being done with the sermon set, and there was no warning, no heads up, no nothing. And
It's like literally 2 weeks.
and he was out like a fat kid in dodgeball.
He gave his 2 weeks live.
Yeah, he did. He did.
Wow.
And because, you know, we had connections on the inside to some of the other pastors and things like that, we were able to find out that there was a lot of infighting, and
Weird stuff.
they didn't like the fact that he was the final say, which I was
Well-
like, but that's kind of what
And we're going to say this.
a pastor is. I thought, like if you have and I don't know, but my brain assumes
Yeah.
that if you have a church big enough that you have multiple pastors,
Right.
then you have a senior pastor. He is the head. It breaks down and goes down like that. It's a you call it what you want. It's
Everything's
a hierarchy.
triangle. Everything's a triangle.
And
There
that's
is a certain functionality about that. Too.
yeah. No, and I understand. Yeah, you
No, I'm saying like I
You
yes,
agree?
you're there. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
absolutely.
The people, the other ones, and it got to a point where nobody liked that happening. They wanted a democracy. They wanted everybody to be able to agree. They wanted everyone
That
to have a
is
say.
what brings in a cancer. Honestly, it's
Yep.
And that's
It is
why
not
it is,
healthy.
and that's where it's at.
That's where it happened.
And that's where it's at now.
Sadly.
Yep.
I will say I appreciate so much the health of our congregation and the functionality of it. And I really respect our senior pastor, and there's not in a million years, not for $1 million would I want his job. Like there is no question. I do not want to be a senior pastor, and I respect him so much. And he was so kind when I was interviewing, and he said, you know, you can disagree with me all day long and come in my office and we'll talk about it. Don't undermine me with congregants.
Yep.
And I was like, absolutely, I am on the
Done.
same page.
Yeah.
Like, no problem. You
Done
know?
deal.
And so, like, just having that from the outset, not that I was planning on going and torpedoing his ministry,
Hey, pastor.
but just
That's
just
not
having
what you
that-
meant, Pastor.
Having that set as just like, this is just how we function as a staff. I wholly and completely support that. And because if you don't have one person making a decision, you have no one making decisions.
That's true.
Right.
Well, and the way I saw it too is kind
Too
of
many
like
chiefs, not enough Indians.
there's that.
Yes.
But look at the the structure of like the family. There's everything
Yeah.
the way God designed this stuff to be was in kind of that.
I think
I don't want to call it a hierarchy because
No,
it's
no,
not
no,
right,
no.
but in
No, no.
that
Right.
kind of,
It is.
you have that one spot and then it branches out from there and everyone is working together. Why would the church be different?
Well, okay. First off, we were even taught that.
Oh, I know.
We were taught that specifically,
Yeah, it
not
goes
only in
from
the men's
God-
group.
yeah.
Not only in the men's
still
group
have
about
that.
I know. I do too. We went through that entire book here on air,
Yeah, we did.
Mm-hmm.
live on air.
Those were good times.
That was good times. But it talks
doing that
about,
again.
okay, what is the head of the structure? Okay, well, the head of the structure is God. Done.
Right.
Done. Okay, now, if we're talking about church, who's the next one? The pastor.
Yep.
And then, the ones, his help, and then his help, and then their help, and their help, and then the congregation.
Yep.
Because
and then it branches out from there, the
You need,
husbands, wives, children.
right. Because that's just how it is. And then each family is dedicated. Okay, boom, boom, there you go. Where's the hierarchy at again? Okay, first hierarchy goes God, Father. It goes down. Yeah.
Gotta get too many pictures. I'm trying to find
Yeah,
it. So
what
I
are
can
you
send it to
doing?
I'm trying to find it so I can send it to Carrie.
Oh, she was with us.
I know she was, but
Some of
like,
it.
just it's cool.
Oh, you're talking about the God hierarchy
That and the you.
and the you. I thought we sent that to you. The gospel you. I swear we sent that to you.
No, I think we talked about it.
We talked about it for sure.
know. Okay.
Anyway, but no, it's that entire idea. It always starts at the top. What's the top? Top is God. Who's next? And you break it down. God is the big umbrella, and then you've got smaller umbrellas.
Oddly enough, that's the picture I'm trying to.
That is
There it
literally
is.
the picture. Yeah.
Oh,
I got it.
The
Hang on.
umbrella. Yeah. There you go. Christ. Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun.
Boom. He's
And
sending it to you.
away it goes.
okay.
Yeah. It's like the structure of the family. So it goes Christ, husband, wife, children.
Okay. Oh my gosh, the music already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, here it came through.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah. It did.
Here.
For all those on the
For those all are watching videos, see?
Yeah, see, that's what he talked about. Roger.
Hi, I'll have that raw hair. Oh, it blanks out with the
For you, yeah.
the background.
Didn't
It's
even
because it's your
bother
phone.
with the
It's all the
bubbles
colors.
today.
And it is.
All the colors.
You know what doesn't blank out?
American Pride Roasters coffee.
That's right.
So good. Guaranteed to
Got
make
mine
you.
ready for tomorrow.
Yes, ma'am. I'm guaranteed to make you swallow every single time you put it into your mouth.
That's AmericanPrideRoasters.com.
Yeah, AmericanPrideRoasters.com. Go to mojo50.com. Check out the other awesome hosts and shows over there. Great things going on. You will not be upset. Well, you might be upset.
You might be upset,
You
but-
might, but you won't be sorry.
Right.
For sure of that.
For sure.
Mojo50.com.
Go to our website.
DOAEshow.com.
That's DOAShow.com. That's where you can find all of our previous shows, history, the shop, all the rest of it. You can even become a defender with us. And don't forget, go to all of our social medias at DOAE Show.
Except for the Facebook page. Well, there's one there
Yeah,
too.
there's one there.
You could also go to Defenders Live. Defenders Live Radio Show at Facebook. Follow us all there. Share, like, subscribe, blah, 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 all that fun jazz. We still got a whole nother hour to go.
We'll be right back. What you say?
Sorry, we cut you off. What'd you say?
I didn't say anything.
Oh, you started.
I said cool.
Oh.
That's it.
You're still trying to find the U, aren't you?
Well, I know it's further up.
It's a long, long time ago.
It's really long.
A long, long
Time ago, in a galaxy far away, Naboo was under an attack. Oh, here's another good one, too. I thought me and Qui-Gon
Just
Jinn
looking at
Good
pictures of barbecue coleslaw or red coleslaw.
maybe cutting them a little slack.
But their response, it didn't thrill us.
They locked the doors and tried to kill us.
We escaped from that gas.
Met Jar Jar in Bosnas.
We took a bongo from the scene and we went to see the Queen. We all wound up on Tatooine. That's where we found this boy.
Okay, let's see here.
I'm just saying. I just did you a bunch of stuff.
I got it. Yeah, I saw it. Let's see. Let's see.
Bye, this here Anakin guy. Maybe Vader someday later. Now he's just a small fry. He left his home and kissed his mommy goodbye, saying, "Soon I'm gonna be a Jedi. Soon I'm gonna be a Jedi." Okay, I need coffee.
Okay, get coffee. Did you know this junkyard slave isn't even old enough to shave? But he can use the force. they
Love Weird
say.
Al.
You're good. What? How do you see him hitting on the queen? What? What?
Slave traders.
What?
Anakin slave trader. The
Oh yeah,
flying
the
guy.
thing. Yeah.
I believe.
The merchant.
Yes, I can't think of his name.
Yeah.
The guy who voiced him, I think, is the club owner from the Roxbury.
No.
I think so.
Same guy.
I think so.
Come on.
Because his voice is identical. Just saying. Just saying.
That's exactly why I did it, Knights of St. Knee. That's exactly why I did it.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Yep. You can.
And it actually works for.
Yeah. I know. That's why I did it. We're going to start there.
Only because the people who are actually watching get to know what the hell we're talking about.
I know at this
Oh,
point.
no.
Yes.
Okay. Do-do-do.
I'm just saying. I don't not. I'm just not in the mood.
Well, you know.
I'm in the mood for love.
Kermie.
Hello. It's good to see you here again.
I was wondering if Shay was going to use any of the 4th of July stuff for like recipes.
I'll never back down. I'll never back down. I'll never back down. I get up when I'm bleeding, ready breathing. I'll never back down.
This is the collision of common sense and comedy. This is Defenders Live.
I'll never back down. Thought I was 6 feet under.
I swear we're gonna have to learn like proper sign language. 'Cause
You might.
I'm getting ready to have to like. You go on mute and the music comes on. You're like, I can't talk or hear.
That's just what it is.
I'm gonna learn Morse code. Just got to get up to the camera and start blinking and see if you can figure it out.
Yep.
Oh
yep.
my gosh.
Yep. I think it'll work. I think it'll work out. For me, it doesn't because I've got the glasses on, so the glare.
It worked on The Office.
It does.
No, it
It
did.
did. It worked. The Knights Who Say D over there on the Twitter is listening to us on the video feeds and all the rest of it. Okay, after a long, long time ago, my mind went to American Pie, but you both were on to Weird Al.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
You're welcome. Here's the reason why. The Pentagon canceled its massive Jedi cloud contract awarded to Microsoft in 2019 and announced it will begin a new effort. Any comments?
Microsoft is housing the Jedi.
Right.
That explains our current employment
Well,
situation.
no.
doesn't it?
The Jedi pulled the Jedi out of Microsoft.
That's what I mean. That
Yeah.
explains our current.
Yeah, exactly. So they pulled the Jedi out of Microsoft. Jedi no longer
Gotcha.
are in Microsoft. It's now
Okay.
controlled only by the Sith. The Pentagon on Tuesday
That's,
canceled.
so that's the gov space that we weren't allowed to.
That's right. yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, the Pentagon on Tuesday canceled its massive Jedi cloud contract. Just going to let that sit there for a second, ending a chapter in the department's years-long quest to stitch together classified networks that saw a public battle between tech giants and accusations that former President Donald Trump sullied the process.
So what you're telling me is that the Pentagon canceled the Clone Wars.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Yes, for the time being, they put a stop.
They put a well. When you're holding all of the Jedi, I guess you have that ability.
Right. They're waiting for more of the androids to form.
Is that what
they're
it
waiting,
is?
They're waiting for them to build them.
Don't forget about the clones that are.
Yeah. Well, General Grievous hasn't made enough androids yet, so he has. They have to wait. You know, a little bit.
Jango
more.
Fett just barely got started with the clone thing too, so we have to keep a balance. If you have the power to stop the war, you might as well do it while you.
That was on a completely different planet, though. It's
Doesn't matter. It's a.
in a
I
galaxy.
need to bring my kids in for this.
What was that? The Klaxon? Yeah, that was the Klaxon. I think it was the Klaxon was where they did the cloning. I think I don't remember it. That's
Something like that.
crazy how that happens. Yeah, the decision to cancel the contract and head up the new direction comes a year after the federal court ruled that the Pentagon stop work on the contract, which went to Microsoft in 2019. I wonder if Google had anything to do with that. The court last year sided with former bidder Amazon.
Okay.
Funny enough. Which argued in a 2019 lawsuit that it lost the Joint Enterprise Defense Infrastructure, otherwise known as JEDI, contract to Microsoft because Trump hated Amazon.
So the Jedi defected to Microsoft because of Trump.
Right.
Trump.
Well, you know, he is the evil emperor.
It's his fault.
He's Palpatine? Is that what you're trying to say?
He is Palpatine.
He's no.
No, actually, Joe Biden is Palpatine. He was in the Senate for 40 years.
That's true.
I am the Senate.
Except for like you're giving
I'm giving him too much credit for Palpatine.
you're getting.
I'm actually downing Palpatine a lot.
You are.
Because Palpatine actually was pretty strong.
Yeah, he was.
He was
clever
actually and he was a savvy politician.
yeah, it was all of that.
Yeah.
Biden is
Not.
See, he called him an embarrassment at this point. Is still too.
That's
good.
way too low bar at this point.
It's sad.
It really is. It's like watching your grandparent slowly whittle away to nothing. I'm sorry, but and not that I actively watch him because it just irritates me so. But every clip, everything, he's falling upstairs. He can't say people's names. He can't read a teleprompter. He can't stay on point. He gets lost in the weeds on stuff.
Don't you think that like him of 20 years ago would say, what are you letting me do?
Yeah, that's
You're making me like, you're letting me look like a jackass.
yeah. If he had, I think,
Hey, man,
I think he. If
you're making me look like a jackass, all right?
what are you, Nicolas Cage now?
You want to fight?
Oh my god. No, I just, but it's sad. I don't think he has the mental fortitude anymore. And if anybody was going to claim that, trying to hit the 25th Amendment, it should be now, and it should be on Biden.
Right.
The guy, every time he does a speech, there is a lot of effort.
Especially when he whispers creepily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When he has to grip the podium and get real close and he has to whisper.
It's like, is
Because
that the
it's-
voice that you use for the little kids?
No, mine's that voice is a little bit softer and better, but I don't remember. Did I take?
I did it.
You know, what are you doing, man?
What's his name? It's so bad.
Get off the mic.
I feel bad. I really do. Like, at least Bernie is. You may not agree with anything he says or does, but at least we can say that mentally he seems all there. I didn't say it was the right decisions. I said he at least seems like he's functioning on his own.
He has the mental
fairly well.
He
yeah.
has the faculties.
Yeah.
Just they're pointed in the wrong direction. Okay.
Biden.
I'll take that.
Well, okay, but I think aside from what one, politically believes or professes, it comes down to a matter of just downright elderly abuse.
That's
Yes.
what I'm saying. At this point, they wanted Trump gone so bad, and they wanted to throw him at anybody at this point because it was the way they danced it, the way they worked it, the way they did whatever. They just stuck him in there, and there he is. And it's every time he gets on, it's just a little bit worse.
Yeah.
Something else happens. He stumbles just a little bit more during a speech, or he doesn't even read the teleprompter, or he
Forgets everybody's names.
falls
or
upstairs. Or
He has to have
whatever.
a sheet in front of him that he can use to call out the names of the people in order with the questions and answers of what they're going to ask and the answer that he needs to give.
And he still can't get it right sometimes.
Yeah, he gets the names confused.
And that's my point. Like, there's something is wrong, and
It's sad.
I get it.
Yeah.
You don't want Trump. Okay.
'Kay.
Fine. But really, you're making us a laughing stock. You
Guess what? He's running again anyway.
Yeah, we know.
Trump is?
Yeah.
We're calling it now.
No, we called it 2 months ago.
Well, we called it last month. Yeah.
last month for sure, but we called it like 2 months ago.
because Trump is now doing rallies and
Oh,
He
so
went to
it's
the
for
border.
sure.
touring around. Well, no, he has
went
not said
to-
anything.
Well, he went to the border.
Okay.
And
yes.
he went to the border with Sean Hannity. And when he went to the
Okay.
border with Sean Hannity gave him a very big softball.
Yeah,
And said,
which is
now, Mr. President, I'm sure. That's not his real voice. I know. I'm just
no.
doing
You were
voices.
slipping
Whatever.
into a Casey Kasem there for a minute, but a really bad one.
really bad Casey Kasem.
And
Yeah.
now Marge calling in.
Yeah. But no, I'm sure that you can't give your answer yet. But have you been thinking about running?
And do you have your answer?
And do you have your answer about running?
And there was this little pause.
That
and
was the question.
yeah. And Trump went yes, and everybody exploded.
Yeah, it's like, all right.
Now I'm confident that he's going to run. However, and me and Steven talked about this on our excursion. Saturday,
yeah.
That how funny would it be? Because everybody knows Trump is a troll.
Right.
Since he can't be on Twitter or anything else, how funny would it be? The man who's got more money than anybody. How funny would it be for him to do every single thing to imply that he's running and then turn around and just go, I'm out, and just drop it?
No, like even stepping it, like saying, and now let me introduce you to your runner.
Yeah. Like troll them all the way so that the left is completely in a panic.
Like all the way through until they say that you have to register for the thing, and like until that point, like the deadline of registration.
Yep. Like we're talking about putting out committees. What is it? The
PACs and all the rest.
not
of
just
it.
the PACs, but the polling committees or what? The
Yeah,
ones
polling,
the one to do the
Exploratory.
exploratory. Thank you. That's the word I'm looking for. Yeah, the exploratory committees and all that jazz.
Yep.
Put all of that out there.
all those feelers.
Go because he's already doing rallies. He's touring the country now, and oddly enough, starting in around November of this year, we're starting up election season. So
Huh.
either he's coming back, or this is going to be probably the most epic troll of all time.
And
Wow.
One of the two.
You know what? We'll give it to him at that point.
Oh yeah,
We'll give it to him.
heck yeah,
Yeah, that's a great job.
for sure.
In completely other news.
Hold on, you can't.
Yes.
We have a thing for that.
Oh, we'll do it.
Is it turned up?
It's. I thought we had it. No, yeah, there.
It's right there.
Yeah.
And now for something completely different.
Thank you. General Daniel Hokanson
Hashtag nailed it. Hashtag like a native.
testifies at his June 18th Senate confirmation hearing.
That's
lead-
a picture. That's a picture.
Yeah,
Don't read
to
that.
lead the
That's a
guard.
picture.
Yeah, well, that's fine. Pentagon officials are finalizing recommendations to establish a separate
But equal.
National Guard.
Another National Guard, huh?
Uh-huh. You want to know where?
I'm trying to think because, I mean, the National Guard, so we got people who are, the National Guard, I mean, they do lightly defend, but for the most part, it's about, home side defense, if there's issues when it comes to, natural disasters or things like
Right.
that, they're in to help and
Yep.
keep order and blah, 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 blah.
They're
So,
trained for like land and sea, right?
Yes.
more or less. I mean, the Coast Guard
Generally.
is mostly does the sea
Sea
stuff,
thing, yeah.
but
Oh, right.
the National Guard is
Kind of there.
there
Also.
for that as well. They do a little bit.
Right.
It's just kind of it's the reservists. It's the guys who
Right.
are there in case,
I don't think these
Fit
guys
hits
are going
the
to be
sham.
reserves.
these are not going to be reserves.
These are not going to be. These can't be reserves.
Okay.
You can't reserve this.
Well, no, that's what the National Guard is, a reserve.
You can't reserve this, though.
I bet you could.
I asked you, do you know where they're going to house this new National Guard? Would you like to take a guess?
I don't don't want to.
Carrie, would you like to take a guess?
Where the new National Guard.
There's land and sea.
Yeah.
Do we need a new National Guard?
Well,
Apparently.
there's one thing that you're missing.
one very small detail.
Land, sea,
Uh-huh.
and air. Way up in the air.
Very, very high in the air.
Are we getting balloonists?
Oh, we're going.
So much further. So much further.
We're bringing back dirigibles.
That's right. No, they're gonna have National Guard in space.
Space.
Yes.
Wow.
Which is funny because in space there's no echo.
yes,
or
you can't do
volume,
echo,
so you
you know,
can't do
yeah.
that. It's
The echo was
that
really,
always
once
makes
you
me
hit air,
giggle
it's
every
funny.
time. Anyway, I'm sorry.
space.
It should be in.
It should be National Guard.
Get it because it's a vacuum.
Yeah, that's
anyway,
funny.
They're
know?
gonna hang like they're gonna be stationed?
well,
The
here's,
nation's top National Guard officers told lawmakers potentially setting up a new cadre of part-time space professionals.
that's what I was getting ready
For
to
the
throw out there.
military.
The National Guard. Remember, The National Guard works 2 weekends a month and 2 weeks a year. So they're going to go through all of this extra training because they're going to be
G-forces, the whole deal. Yeah.
They're to basically
They're gonna
be
be
astronauts.
astronauts.
Yes. Only on 2 weekends a month and 2 weeks a year. And then after that, they go back to working at
Normal
whatever,
9 to 5.
yeah, whatever bank or car
Whatever,
dealership
yeah.
or whatever the
Wow.
heck they do.
So all I can think with this is, and I'm trying to remember which Avengers movie it is, where Nick Fury is
All of 'em.
saying,
It's all of
every
them.
single one
It's
of them.
all of them.
Every
well,
one of
yeah,
them.
but he says once, it was I think it was the first Avengers movie
Okay.
where he says once you let, and was he talking to Thor? But once you let these aliens in, they thought we were ready to play.
Yeah.
They thought we were announcing that we're ready. And that's all this sounds like to me. Like, okay,
Yeah.
we're in the game.
Well, the funny part about it, though, there's a lot that's funny about this.
Yeah.
But when Trump was in, didn't he do Space Force or
Space
whatever?
Force.
That
Yes, he did.
He's Space Force.
Force.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
were forces in space.
Did that get shut down?
Yes.
That's the ironic part is they got shut down, but now we're going to have an
National
National Guard. Can they have the little silver outfits like the pigs did on the Muppet Show?
No, they're all going to be red shirts.
I was gonna say with little triangles.
I'll take you, and you. You go dig into a hole over there right now.
Why? Because you're going to fall in there in about 5 minutes.
You'll find out here in about an hour.
You start digging.
It's a Star Trek joke. It's all the red shirts always die in every episode.
Right. If you're not of the main cast and you have a
Yeah.
red shirt, you die.
You die.
Your job is to die.
And so, yeah, go dig a hole.
Because you're about
To be in it.
Wow.
As you say, Nee, over on Twitter, is this a setup for another Pauly Shore and Andy Dick movie? The
Yes.
Space Guard now?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
How great would that be?
It'd be so good.
The Weasel. That would be great.
But would it?
Yes.
Yes.
It absolutely would.
Yes, it would.
He's fantastic.
Old Carrot Top.
Maybe not Andy Dick, though. Maybe bring back like a Pauly Shore, Stephen Baldwin thing again. Oh, yeah. Like Biodome.
Biodome was good.
But you make it like,
Make
that
it
would be
good.
With, an appearance by Andy Dick.
You could do, Martian with the newest one. Martian
With Matt Damon?
with Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
Yeah, that guy
I didn't.
where he was on Mars and he was trapped.
I have never seen it, so I
It's
have
Yeah, I
no.
haven't
basically
either.
Biodome,
Is it really?
kinda. Oh, he's trapped
Yeah, but it's
in a
not,
biodome.
it's not as funny.
Yeah, but he's trapped in a biodome.
Oh,
We could do that.
you could.
We could do it on the moon. Biodome on the moon. Biodome 2. Space Guard.
It's just. But yeah, they shut the Trump side of it down, and just like
Just like the border wall.
yeah,
They
they're-
shut it down when it was Trump, and
And
then
now
they
they're-
waited a few weeks.
and they're bringing it back under some other name, under some other style, doing it
The
a
exact same
slightly
thing.
different way.
Exact same thing.
Same thing. The amount of money they're dumping into it, everything is exactly the same. It's just
And it
now
doesn't even
they
have
get it.
as good of a name. Not even as good of a name. I'm sorry, but naming is a thing. Okay?
Yeah, no, I'm with you. At least
Naming is a thing.
Space Force. That sounds pretty cool. I mean, a little 80s,
Also, 80s
Saturday morning
retro.
sitcom.
Yeah, mhm,
Yeah.
yeah. Kind of like
Oh, I
G.I.
could see
Joe.
that.
It's very G.I. Joe-esque.
Yeah, but still better than, the
Space
the
National Guard. In the Space National Guard. You
Make
can.
Make sure you don't float away. Okay. And what would you do?
All I see is
What would you do as a National Guard Space Guard?
National Space Guard.
So what do you do?
You'd go up in one of the SpaceX ships and go up and then come back down.
I wonder, do you for 2 weeks like orbit the Earth?
I was gonna say,
No, because it's national.
yeah.
Why would you orbit the Earth?
Oh yeah.
It's not
So
global.
you're just
na-
making circles.
It's not space global
So you're
guard,
just like hovering.
which is
over the
weird
United
because
States
technically
and
you're
just
having to propel
traveling.
yourself into the same momentum as the
Yeah,
Earth.
you have to line up with Earth's rotation and all that other stuff. You have to
Mm-hmm.
stay just outside of the
the gravitational pull, but enough in it to where you don't. Yeah,
Yeah, you're
where you
in
don't
sync
just
with the
float away.
rotation. Yeah.
Yeah, you basically have to become a satellite of your own and not
Right.
hit the other satellites.
Right.
Yeah.
Which means
And
you have to be a far enough away. So you either have to be below the satellites, which means you're going to get in the way, or you have to go above, which means you're not going to be able to see everything.
And you're going to be outside the gravitational pull, and it's
A
going to
little
be
bit, yeah.
harder to maintain orbit.
Right.
It's really
So
right. See, so
interesting.
what do you do? Like, are you 2 weekends a month? You're going to blast off and be like, Elon Musk rules, and then you land back
Literally,
down again. And
I
it's
think
over?
I think it's exactly going to be this. They're going to blast off in Florida, and they're going to land on the coast in California.
because they're going to go straight up and then
Gonna
come
go straight back down.
down.
Actually, no, it's going to arch.
Wow.
It's going to arc, and it goes, and you go over.
They're going to try and time it. Like, oh, missed it by that.
They're gonna get they're gonna get into like the top layers of the atmosphere. Right before it actually turns pitch black, where you still technically have oxygen, but not a lot.
And you're floating though.
And you're kind of you're doing that half float.
Yeah.
And they're gonna free float and just start nose diving.
Yep. And wait for one jackwagon to point out the window and go, I can see my house from here.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can.
Austerity Slug over on Twitter. Civil Air Patrol covered the skies, so space and summer camp just got pretty interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's awesome.
Yeah.
Austerity Slug. Also, you remember that documentary Armageddon?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what Space National Guard will be.
That's. I'm just saying.
I mean,
Bruce Willis.
Yeah, Bruce Willis and
that documentary with and
Aerosmith singing in the background.
So they're going to take care of all the nuclear.
They're drilling,
Arms.
nuclear drilling on the.
they're drilling in space.
Okay.
blowing up the asteroids that are stronger than steel. I guess I don't know.
I don't know.
That's what it is.
I'm just saying.
We could keep going with reading this, but I don't care. We
You
don't
don't
have
need to.
It's just that's all we needed. We needed
just
like
a
those two
headline and
sentences, yeah.
a couple of jabs at it
Yep.
because this is you can't get it. I'm sorry, but I didn't like it when Trump came up with it. It's a stupid idea. Okay, how are you going to have a defense force for space when you got rid of your space department?
When NASA's teaching math,
Yeah.
to people in the Middle East and not actually doing NASA stuff.
Yeah, you're not gonna.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't.
Doesn't
I don't,
work.
I don't have any respect or appreciation for it. Because I have actually a little worried at this point.
When the solar panel guy beats you out and makes reusable rockets,
Wow.
you're in the wrong, man. You're in the wrong.
Not just say over Twitter, give me a break. The cameras on the International Space Station crap out every time something worth seeing shows up. Space Guard won't be able to see a damn thing.
You're darn right they won't. You're darn right.
won't.
Darn tootin'.
They'll be like, what is that? Is that a? Oh no, it's just on the lens. The whole thing is stupid. The whole thing is stupid. We're not going to live in space. I don't believe it. Not in our lifetime, for sure.
Not with that attitude.
You're not with that. Well, okay. So
Still my joke.
no, there is nowhere in our current solar system that will house humans.
Nothing that we can reach.
Right. That in our current solar system, nothing we can reach can house humans
Nope.
safely.
And they still have yet to surpass the light speed of light.
Right.
So-
Which is you won't.
And no human can get that fast to begin with.
So we don't have warp drive yet,
No.
which means we can't go plaid.
Darn.
I'd like to go plaid.
I would like to go plaid. I got plaid at the house. I go plaid more often than you do.
Yeah, you're right.
All the time.
And yet I'm still faster.
Shut up. It's 'cause I'm fatter. I did, man.
What is going plaid?
Spaceballs?
Oh my God.
Oh.
Oh,
Don't tell me you've never seen
She's
Spaceballs.
never seen Spaceballs.
Well, now you have. Now we know what your homework is.
And now she vanished.
Oh,
Spaceballs.
wait, no, I think I have seen it.
It's another Mel Brooks movie.
I know.
Barf. May the Schwartz be with you.
May the Schwartz be with you.
I think I saw it like
Yogurt
10 or
instead of
15
Yoda.
years ago.
Well,
It's a long
Sounds
time
like you need a
ago.
refresher.
Mega Maid.
Yeah, I think you need to an update.
I think you need a re-up.
Yeah, a refresher course.
Uh-huh.
I think it's important.
Well done, B.
Peekaboo Snarky Jackal. Nuclear is pronounced nuclear.
Yep. Nuclear.
Nuclear.
Gotta nuke him. Also, B from the SAV over there. Ludicrous speed, go! From Big Helmet.
I miss Rick Moranis.
Yeah.
Sadly, I think he's too old to.
Well, no,
No,
he's
he
back in. He's
actually
back in now.
Is he?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I know
had
he was-
stepped away because his wife had died.
Yeah.
And he was
And
raising
now-
his kids.
He
Yeah, I
decided
knew that
to be
part.
a father full time.
I knew
That's
that
awesome.
part, but I've heard he's a moment here, a moment there, but like so the
like
girl,
he is definitely older.
So the
Yes.
girlfriend showed me a picture of Val Kilmer recently.
Oh,
I'm sorry, and it sounds
Oh
bad.
no.
I find it ironic that the guy who played a
dead
deathly
man?
sick man
And a dead
with
man.
emphysema
No.
and a dead man.
He literally played a dead
I don't know. Well, yeah.
corpse in
I
a
know.
movie.
Which one?
I forget the name of it, but he was a corpse literally throughout the entire movie.
But I'm saying Tombstone. And I
Yeah,
understand
yeah.
that emphysema is more lung than throat cancer, but still the whole,
yeah.
terminally ill and blah, 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 blah. I just find that ironic.
You played that
And I'm
character
sad about
well,
that.
sir.
He was good.
Yes.
There's another one of the good ones that,
Real Geniuses?
Oh, yeah.
Remember that movie? Back in the 80s? Real Genius?
Well,
There was a picture of who is it? Jonathan Taylor Thomas. JTT.
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah, you know me.
Did you see that?
No.
Okay, so there was a picture of him. He's 39,
Oh
which is
no.
weird. But
I did not
he
know him and
looks
I were
like
the same
Val
age.
Kilmer.
Does he? I didn't know him and I were the same age. That's weird. Oh. Weird.
Yeah.
He's so weird.
He
This is Defenders Live.
Okay. So we learned something new today. Jonathan Taylor Thomas is
Oh.
the clone of Val Kilmer.
Except
Are
for
you
he
looking
does-
at it?
we're seeing a couple of pictures. It's,
Oh no, still like look at that one. That
No,
one's,
and I can see that. I can see
like,
the resemblance
look
that
at
you're
the
talking
resemblance
about.
there. Like,
However,
dude, he has white.
he doesn't
He-
have near the acting skill though.
No, not anywhere close.
I'm not. No,
Yeah.
but
Look!
But in the picture with him, like with sunglasses on, I kept having to go. Wait a second. Is this?
I didn't
That's
know
not
him.
Val-
I didn't know me and him were the same age. I mean, I think he's got me by a couple months. I don't know his exact birth date, but
But no,
when you're a December baby, everybody's
he's got a
older than you.
full. If he grew out facial hair, he would have a full white beard. I can see the speckles
Didn't he play in a Santa
Wow.
Claus movie?
Yes, he
In a
did.
Christmas movie?
as the son.
As a son.
As the
think so.
son.
Now, how fantastic would it be now that he can do the white thing to go that route and have him grow out the white beard and be Santa
So
Part
the
2?
next generation.
Uh-huh.
They should do that.
I thought
think
so.
they had done something. No, they did Santa Claus's wife or something, Mrs. Claus or whatever.
No, they're...
This past Christmas.
No, like
Oh,
times ago.
we're being corrected. It was Dark Helmet, not Big Helmet.
I thought it was Big Helmet.
No, Dark Helmet.
Oh, sorry.
Remember Darth Vader? Dark
Yeah,
Helmet?
well, still, it's a huge helmet. What do you want? I was a kid. Anyway,
Sounds like you need to brush up on your Spaceballs.
I do. I haven't seen it in forever, but I still know more references than somebody.
Oh, that's right. I did. He did get beat up in New York. Rick
he did.
Moranis.
Not long ago.
I
He
forgot
got
about
beat
that.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was assaulted
Actually, that sounds familiar.
in downtown New York. It was all caught on camera. There was a big deal about it. I remember
hear it.
reading about that.
Let's hear it for New York.
I'd rather not.
Why was he beat up? Because he's Jewish?
For being a white guy.
For
in
being
New
a
York.
white guy in New York, yeah. I think I want to say he was intervening at some point, maybe. I don't know.
Oh.
I think he tried to intervene, and it's sad. Oh well. Anyway, so you're rather pleased with this story about because you sent it to me this morning, and
Yeah.
it's a long one.
It is a long one.
It's a long one, but
It's a long one. It's a long way to the well.
It's
Okay.
a bit. I don't know. Part of me is bothered by it, and the other side of me is like, I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
It doesn't bother me that bad. Anyway.
Okay. So there's a setup to this a little bit, not
There's a
not
lead
for
in.
us. There's a lead in, so just bear with us.
Okay.
The Supreme Court's decision to review the Mississippi stringent restrictions on abortion, putting Roe v. Wade under its roughest stress test yet, is being seen as a call to action for the nation's community of underground abortion activists.
Good times. Because
So there's currently a community of underground abortion activists?
Your guess is as good as mine.
I guess they're shrouded in mystery.
I mean, what was his face that was in New York?
Rick Moranis.
No, not that one. The abortion guy in New York.
The abortion guy?
Yeah, the one that got arrested for having all the
no,
dead
no,
babies.
Goslin. Or not Goslin.
Gosnell.
Gosnell.
Yeah, Gosnell. That was, wasn't that Pennsylvania?
Was it Pennsylvania?
Pennsylvania,
Oh, I
I
thought it was
think.
New York.
Somewhere up
It
there
makes
in
sense.
the weird. I mean, it's not far from
Either
New
way,
York,
it
so-
makes sense. Yeah, but Gosnell. Yeah, apparently he was underground, technically.
Really?
Yeah, none of his stuff was on board
Yeah. It's one of the reasons why he got into so much trouble.
because he wasn't above board.
Yeah. Because he was not,
Right.
because he was doing it when he shouldn't be doing it, and it was a big deal.
Yes.
So anyway.
Yes, the coat hanger crew. That's correct, Christopher, over on the YouTubes. That's not a good idea. That will cause internal bleeding and kill you. Anyway, they make it clear that they're prepared to defy any law banning abortion. The community has spent the pandemic dealing with abortionocalypse, a wave of red state restrictions on procedures to terminate pregnancies by recruiting new members and online providers, adding new privacy features that can shield them from law enforcement and organizations. And now, with the court's decision to hear the Mississippi case in its upcoming term, they're confronting a new threat.
A new threat, you say? How new?
Not new at all.
Oh,
To
well.
the
then-
babies?
The babies have a new threat, yes.
There's always been a threat to the babies.
It's the same threat that they always had. It's same threat all around. You know, the abortionists have the same threat as Quote, even though our work is legal and we're not doing anything wrong, we operate.
Hold on. Pause for a moment. I believe that there might be a little room for an argument with that statement. You're not doing anything wrong.
But it's who's wrong.
Just because it's legal doesn't mean you should.
Just because you can doesn't mean you should. Under the assumption that we could become illegal at any time.
See, again,
That was said from one of the members of the Mountain Access Brigade.
just because it's legal doesn't make it right.
Mountain Access Brigade.
But they're underground.
They're in caves.
Maybe they're in a tunnel.
Are they underground in the mountains? So they're like Smeagol.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, so
my
they're-
precious.
Kill the babies, we masters. Shoot systems, restore systems, and source their parts. Yes, it's a good start. No, not the preciouses. Those are friends.
Come on.
You did
That
good.
is very good.
I'm just saying, like, it's almost what it feels. It's what it feels like. That's how most of these crotchety people are who want to slaughter unborn children now are to me anyway. They have this weird bent.
That's all they are.
They're
They just want to kill.
they're so hell bent on it. Again,
It is
just
the
because
precious.
it's legal doesn't mean it's right.
Yes, it is the precious.
And it bothers me so much.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm sorry.
The pandemic gave activists, quote, a real view of what a South without access would look like. That from Robin Marty, an activist from the Yellow Hammer Fund.
Where do they come up with the names for
Okay.
this stuff?
I don't know.
I would like to understand exactly what yellow and ham are they referring?
Jaundice.
Well, no, I was gonna say like in a lit, like give them some sun, they'll be fine.
They specifically only kill Asian children.
Well, I was gonna say no. Well, no, I don't know though. But isn't the hammer and sickle on the flag? Isn't that
Yes.
Isn't that yellow? So maybe that's where they're
Probably.
they're only one
Oh.
part of
They're
two.
communist.
Yeah, they're communist, but they're only part of communist.
They're only partly communist.
They're on the hammer side.
Yeah.
Dun
Dun, dun, dun,
dun
dun,
dun
Dun, dun, dun.
because you can't touch this.
Marty recently came out with an update to her book.
Oh, thank God.
Handbook for Post-Roe America.
Hold on, stop. We're not post Roe.
That's right. She
Roe
she,
v. Wade
she sent
is
it out
still there.
beforehand. She wanted to make sure that people had the information before it happened. She's
Roe
being
v.
proactive.
Okay,
Unlike most women that get abortions, they're not being proactive.
Roe v. Wade was an opinion.
Do you get that? That was a bad joke. but
It
do you-
was, and I'm ignoring it.
Okay.
Roe v. Wade was an opinion. It's not law.
Yeah, right,
It was
right,
an
right.
opinion by the Supreme
Yep.
Court. And two, it's still there.
It is still there.
Nobody has quote unquote overturned it.
Right.
The only thing that's happened is states,
Yeah.
slowly but surely, are starting to flex their 10th Amendment rights. And what's wrong with that?
Just gonna say they're following the Constitution.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, they're doing
Determining
what they
by
want to
their
do.
own, and they are like voting on it. It's
Yes.
something that is
The
by
people are saying.
representatives.
Yeah. I get so irritated when they do that kind of stuff. When they just, oh, well, this is the situation. No.
Yep.
No. Roe v. Wade is still there. Again, it's just an opinion.
It
It's
technically
not a
is
law.
not law because they haven't actually made any real laws about it. They just gave the opinion. Nobody did anything, but it's technically still left up to the states.
Yeah. Which it
Right.
should be. Mm-hmm. And
Quote, people have so much fatigue when it comes to this is the worst. No. Now this is even worse. Oh, wait. This is even worse than that.
what does that mean?
I don't know.
Okay.
For decades, she continues. The worst for pro-abortion rights activist communities was the Supreme Court's decision to overrule the 1973 holding in Roe v. Wade, which many states in the South and some in the West would likely enact bans on abortions. But new technology has complicated those issues a little bit, raising the possibility that a robust underground operation could continue to provide abortion pills to women seeking to terminate pregnancies at home.
Because what could go wrong? What could go wrong?
What could go wrong?
I know, right? I'm trying to make light of it, but it's just I feel
Feel dirty doing it.
dirty.
It's
Yeah.
dirty because it's murder,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
and it is dirty.
and they're just like, oh yeah, no, we're good with continuing to do this. And
And I understand, like, so I think my biggest problem lies with, someone like Busy Phillips, who, gathers people around so she can celebrate and have a rally celebrating the fact that she murdered her children so that she could be an actress.
Right.
And that there's the pride
yeah,
that some of these, and I
Well,
say women, but
what
I
was
don't
the-
know. I mean, I guess men are pro abortion as well, but these women that, I'm just thinking about carrying these my children and
Yeah.
what it feels like. And
Yeah.
like, you know, your child from moment one,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and to celebrate and
Well,
Ooh.
what's her name? Martha Plimpton.
Martha Plimpton.
Plimpton. Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to like the Goonies until that.
Yeah.
And I still tolerate watching Raising Hope.
Raising Hope.
I just ignore her.
Completely.
I mean, granted, she's arguably her and the husband are arguably the funniest two on the show. That's
Yeah.
over. But I watch it and I pretend I don't remember anything that she says on there.
Yeah.
I'm just like, stay away. It's like,
Even before the COVID-19 lockdown prompted advocates to strengthen their network, many patients were already self-managing their own abortions. One 2010 survey from the Guttmacher Institute.
What? From the who?
From the Guttmacher.
You know, it sounds German.
It is. Institute found 2.6% of women saying that they'd already done so. By that, they mean self-managing their own abortions.
So-
A figure that many activists believe was understated at the time and has almost certainly grown as pills have become increasingly more available.
I just want to point out something that I find a little ironic.
Yeah.
A German institute is giving numbers and statistical numbers on the slaughtering
Of children.
of defenseless human
yeah.
beings.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Kind of like
Yeah.
Oh,
they,
I don't
They
know.
didn't give numbers then, though.
no, well, they wrote them all down.
Yeah, but they didn't give them away.
They didn't give them away.
Yeah. It took America to come in and take pictures. They're like, hey,
Do
look
the
what
math.
you did, dummy.
I just find that ironic.
Many patients are turning to online groups, some quite large. Aid Access, one of the most prominent online abortion providers, said that it receives requests from almost 30,000 women per year.
For pills?
Yeah, for like the day after pill and
Yeah.
for other services. An online group says demand boomed during the pandemic. Aid Access requests jumped 27% from March 20 to April 11th last year.
Because nobody could go anywhere. I mean, let's be fair about this.
Let's be frank.
You can't be. Shut up. You can't sit there and say, "Oh well, people are just demanding for it." No. People couldn't go in. A lot changed last year.
Right.
A lot of things went digital. A lot of things went online last year that didn't used to be. You know, sales in certain things online
Right.
jumped. Are you kidding me?
Do you know how many alcohol sales there are now online?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
there are so many different vendors to sell wine and whiskey and everything else online, digitally. You can go buy it and get it and have it sent to your house.
Yep. And it didn't used to be there before last year.
Right. Because nobody could go anywhere.
2019, this didn't exist.
Nope.
I'm just,
Well, I mean, there were a few wine cellars.
yeah, but not near to the. And that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of stuff you had a little bit here and a little bit here, and it was very
And then
kind
suddenly
of
just-
nuanced and special. Yeah, and then once people couldn't go anywhere or do anything, it was holy crap.
I need to
Right.
get this. I want this now.
The entrepreneurial boom of 2020.
Yes.
That was
And
fantastic.
apparently that helps on abortions as well.
Oh, good. I mean, boo.
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
I don't mean good.
On Reddit,
Right.
the R Abortions forum devoted to providing advice about all types of abortion care gained thousands of readers per month through December of last year. A moderator for the forum said, as readers dealing with canceled appointments tried to find new means of abortion, including online pharmacies that could ship pills from abroad.
That's a little sexist.
I know.
How dare they just ship it from abroad? Why couldn't they actually
Wow.
call her a woman?
I know, right?
I thought, and how do they know it's a woman? How dare they assume gender?
Dudes can be pharmacists.
Right?
Right?
We know one.
Yes.
We do.
Big pharma.
was-
Anyway,
Not tweeting at it.
I know. I think he's working.
He's probably working.
Yeah, that trend will continue. The moderator predicted if the courts allow further restrictions up to and including the ban that would result in Roe v. Wade if it were overturned.
What? It's not a law.
It's not.
You
a law.
can't overturn
You can't overturn a law. You can.
an opinion. No, you can't overturn an opinion.
It's not even an opinion. Okay, so with a court opinion, it's all about precedent. Roe v. Wade was the first time they went against that
Yeah.
with this subject. In this subject, Roe v. Wade was the very first time they went against that. So technically, Roe v. Wade overturned all precedent up to that point. What we would be doing would be going back to the norm.
Yep. Big Bull Snarky Jackal over on Twitter. Didn't pagans routinely celebrate after the children's sacrifices?
Yes.
Yes.
They did.
God
With
of
massive
Molech.
orgies.
They did. Ironically, they
Which
would.
is very, I was just going to say, very
Someone's not paying attention in biology.
talk about
That's all I'm saying.
counterintuitive.
I
Just
know,
a
right?
tad.
Right?
Just a tad. Nice to say knee over on Twitter. I'm just saying, sticking to the digital would greatly reduce the occurrence of abortions. And all he says is hands up. So there you go. Just saying.
Sparkle fingers.
He's not. Jazz hands. Anyway.
I am a big fan of jazz hands. So.
Oh, see, you should use,
such big hands.
you should use jazz hands in your next sermon.
Oh, yes.
I've used them before, I believe.
Have you?
Yes. I think so. I talk with my hands.
Yeah, but no,
That's different.
I don't mean
I know,
just
you
like
want, like-
this. I mean like.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
like
the
pretty
full
sure
deal.
I've done that
The
before.
full effect.
Oh, okay.
You hammed it up a bit?
It wasn't like, so I do not perform for sermons at all. But I talk with my hands, and I'm a big talker, and yeah, I'm trying to remember because I know there have been times I'm trying to remember now because it's a very natural.
Yeah.
It's a thing you do normally. You're not trying to do it. It's just going to happen. Is what
Yeah.
you're saying, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I use my hands when I talk a lot too.
Right.
A lot. But
Mine stay below the screen most of the time, but yeah,
Yeah.
90% of the time I am moving my hands or fiddling or fidgeting or pointing or going back and forth.
yeah, especially the more heated I get, or the more into what
yeah,
I'm
the
doing.
more upset, yeah. The more
'Cause-
into it you go and the more agitated you get, it's
Yeah.
fun. It's you like the reason why you see him take his hat off and then move his head and
Right.
then the hat on and move it is because he doesn't have anything to do with his hands and he has to do something.
Yeah, I as goofy as it sounds, like I literally could probably benefit from like the little, not the fidget spinners, though I do
But
like
the little
those.
clicky cubes,
Not, but I don't want the clicking sound. But yeah, something
the
to
fidget cubes,
Oh,
those are
where's-
really cool.
fidget cube. I need
I got a
something.
fun.
The fidget cubes are really cool.
I got a fun thing here. Hold on. I'll find it.
She's got a fun thing in her bag.
Oh, in the bag.
Got a fun thing in the bag.
Here it is.
We just got it. Oh,
So
is that a mask?
What is that?
no, it's
D&D dice. Oh,
it is a little. But it goes like you can put it on your arm. Hold on, how did I do this? Oh yeah,
Yeah, you can wear it
put
like a
on
bracelet.
your arm, and it just like
Slides
slides
up and down.
oh,
Yeah,
Oh yeah, it's breaking up in the video because you
I
know,
see that, but you
it's like a
see it-
slinky that goes
on your arm,
that you use around.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's meant to be used from the outside.
and you can
not
kind
the-
of feel
on
it
the
as
inside.
it clinks over and
Yeah.
back and forth. Yeah.
So it's.
If you have a lot of hair on your arms, that's really not going to be too
You
good.
won't have any when you're done.
Right.
playing with the
You'll
toy.
be done.
Oh, I don't have hairy arms.
That's good
Yeah. Well, yeah. I was
for
just-
you.
Yeah.
I do.
Ish.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I got hair. I got more than you.
More than me. Yeah, that's true.
I got a lot more hair than you anyway.
I know, right? Except for currently on top of your head. That's all.
No,
that's
I
currently.
still have mine. Okay,
It's currently
mine's longer.
only in one area.
Still longer.
What is going on over there?
She's nailing down the floorboards.
Literally.
Either that or chasing a spider.
It's a bug.
bug. I
There's
was
a bug
close.
somewhere. All right. Yeah. I hear
Use your
slamming
foot,
somewhere. I'm
woman.
like, what is going on? What are you doing here?
That's
Anyway.
hilarious.
So speaking of what comes naturally to people, more than 100 protesters showed up at a home of a man who reportedly shouted racial slurs in front of his own house in New Jersey.
Okay. Sidebar.
Okay.
Pause.
Pause.
Just a moment.
Okay.
I like this idea.
Okay, what are we doing?
Nice you say knee over on Twitter at Stephen Nary and at Dylan Lyles in the pews during Carrie's sermons. And every time either one of them coughs, she has to do jazz hands and has to work in Shagadelic Baby a few times.
If you hear a baby cry, Shagadelic Baby.
Now, the problem, I love that. I love nothing more than going to someone else's work that I know and just poking
Messing.
the bear. I love it.
But
I
it's
love
church.
It.
That's the
I
only
was gonna
problem.
say, it's church. And as much fun as I would have doing that, I feel that we would be causing...
Struck by lightning?
No, I'm not worried about that.
Who was it?
How
that was,
cool of a way would that be to go?
Who was it that had the story about saying the F word in church, getting louder? Like the challenge was to say the F word in church.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Was it? It was some comedian.
It was a comedian.
It was him and his brother, and it got to a point where they
would challenge each other, right?
to say it loud, to see who could say it the loudest.
Right.
And it was not. It was literally like, "Do you dare to say it louder?" Because obviously they're like, they're whispering it and whispering
Right.
it. But it was, how loud would you be willing to say it out loud in church?
Yep.
The
problem
it's
is-
that testing that line.
The problem is they got caught by their mom. And their mom was the one that said it the loudest.
Yeah.
She screamed out in the entire.
What are you doing saying in church? Yeah.
So she won.
So she won. But no, again, going back to the as much as I love the idea of going in and messing with Carrie during the because I mean I
can't do
believe she would still somewhat appreciate that idea. The fact of the matter is that she
Unless you're in on it. Are you in on it? Are
Well,
you
no. She even if she's in on it, she has prepared a sermon that
for her congregation
that God has given her and a message that she is to give to somebody. And if we turn around and make a joke about that or try and cause any issues about that, then we, in my humble opinion, run the risk of stamping on it. And I don't really, you want to talk to me about being worried about sacrilegious? No. But no, I'm more worried about being a hindrance to the possibility of God working
somebody
as
being
he
saved.
wanted
Yeah,
to.
to
Yeah.
work, yeah.
No matter what it is, whether it's getting saved, whether it's hearing something that they need to do to bring them back, whatever it is, something that somebody needs to hear, I would feel really bad if I found out that through
You were the reason why.
that my joking and shenanigans and goofing off caused somebody to miss out on a blessing or miss out on some encouragement they needed or get saved or whatever.
Yeah.
So as funny as it would be, no,
not a sermon.
No, not a
I
sermon.
would do that in almost any other circumstance.
Oh yeah.
see?
Any other person.
Wouldn't do it in a sermon.
Not in a sermon.
I
Any person
I
speaking out.
take preaching and very seriously. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I say I do not perform. I've done jazz hands, I think, because that's natural.
all
Which I
those
don't know
years
what
in
that says about me
chorus.
if jazz hands are natural.
Yeah. So here's the thing, right? This guy,
It could be early onset of
could be.
Parkinson's.
it could be. They're just tremors. But this guy, he's 45 years old. He lives in New Jersey, and he was standing out at his lawn, and he was yelling at these guys as they were walking by, calling them the N-word, saying that they were monkeys and all the rest of them, challenging them, whatever. Oh, no. He says, and I quote, "Bring whoever, learn your laws, and that this area is not Africa."
We're holding a memorial for the man. He next week.
No. The
You
story,
send all gifts to his family through a GoFundMe account.
by the end of the evening, more than 100 people had shown up at his house
That's fantastic.
as a whoever,
So the whoever showed up.
the whomever that knew that were for the law. Yeah. And it was all videotaped.
That's great.
Wow.
I would love to have been there for that.
I just
Don't you think the majority of people just don't put up with racism in their life?
That's exactly why I brought this story. Is because
don't think anybody does.
I don't think people put up with it in their daily life. We hear about it all day long. We hear about all this racism and everybody doing it, whatever. And this is racist, this is racist, and that's racist, and the reason why you're afraid is racism, and all the rest of it is racist. But when somebody actually does something with it's truly racist,
Yeah.
you just watch. Everybody around him is going to flip.
Yeah.
Everyone around
Doesn't
him will be
matter
like, no.
what color you
even
are,
if
it's-
you're that guy's best friend, you're backing away and saying, no, I can't support that. I'm sorry.
You're on your own,
what
Chief.
are you doing?
Like
yeah.
you're on your own, Chief. You're done.
Yeah.
You know, there's a okay. Being politically correct is one thing.
Yeah.
It goes to the point of just because you can,
Doesn't mean you should.
right?
Right.
So that's the thing. That's the takeaway from most of the stuff tonight is
Just because you can
doesn't mean you should. You know what you should do though is go to AmericanPrideRoastersCoffee.com.
Oh, AmericanPrideRoastersCoffee.com.
Yes, you should.
Yes, get you some fantastic, historically great coffee
Oh yeah. So good it'll make you swallow every time you put it in your mouth.
every single time. That's a 100% guarantee
I know it.
by far. Go to AmericanPrideRoasters.com. Check them out over there. Go to Mojo50.com. Those are the
That's Mojo.
Mojo MOJO50.com.
Okay.
Yeah, those are the poor guys that for some goofy reason keep us on here.
Really good guys. Though.
I don't. Yeah, but I think
Amazing people.
they are.
Yeah.
I think they might be going the way of Biden, just kind of being senile and
Maybe.
weird.
Maybe.
Because we're still here.
Don't forget to check out our website.
DOAShow.com.
That's DOAShow.com.
Yes, and follow us on all the social medias. Like, share, follow, and comment everything at DOAE Show.
Carrie
It's been a
Malinek.
blast. Good night, dear. We'll see you next week. Y'all have a great one. We'll see you tomorrow.
God bless.
Bye.